There comes a time when you realize that your wardrobe no longer reflects who you are, only who you used to be, or who the world expects you to stay. You've spent years showing up for others, holding households together, supporting partners, raising children, tending to aging parents, navigating change after change. You've been the steady one, the strong one. But in all of that, something else slowly faded into the background. You. Not the you with the to-do lists and obligations, but the quiet, radiant, feeling self. The one who once twirled in front of mirrors. The one who chose fabrics based on how they felt against the skin, not just how they covered the body. The one who knew how to be light, not just in size or age, but in spirit. So let me ask you this gently. Have you forgotten how light you can feel? Because your clothes should not be reminders of how much you've changed. They should be reflections of how beautifully you've evolved. And if that idea feels far away right now, let me bring it closer. Today, we're not going to chase trends or dress to impress. We're going to explore 4 summer looks that are soft, flattering, and effortlessly feminine. Looks that don't try to hide your body, but instead flow with it. Looks that don't shout for attention, but draw it with quiet elegance. Each one is like a gentle hand on your back, reminding you still deserve to feel beautiful. Because summer, for women like us, isn't about short skirts and bold prints. It's about breathing again. It's about softness after striving. It's about becoming visible in a way that feels true. So let's begin not with rules or trends, but with a simple feeling. The softness of linen brushing your skin, the quiet movement of a dress that doesn't cling, the freedom of stepping outside, not to be seen, but to be. And if this video is already stirring something inside you, something soft, something curious, I invite you to stay a little longer. Subscribe to the channel so we can grow this community of graceful, vibrant women together. Leave a comment and share where you are in your style journey, because your voice matters here. And if this message resonates with you in any way, please give this video a like. It tells YouTube that this kind of healing style content is worth sharing. Now, let's begin our gentle rediscovery with a dress that floats, not hides. 1. The flowing lavender dress. There is something profoundly healing about putting on a dress that doesn't expect you to shrink. It doesn't ask you to pull, tuck, or squeeze. It doesn't whisper criticisms or demand attention. It simply drapes, with softness, with kindness, with room. The flowing summer dress is not just a garment. It's a moment of exhale, especially when it comes in lavender, a hue that's neither bold nor timid, but beautifully in between. It's the color of serenity, of quiet power, of a woman who doesn't need to prove herself anymore. This kind of dress reminds you that movement can be graceful without being controlled, that femininity doesn't expire. It simply evolves into something more felt than shown. When you wear a flowing dress in the heat of summer, it's not to impress anyone. It's to feel the air again, to walk slowly, to remember how to listen to your own pace, and perhaps most importantly, to return to the parts of you that once felt free in your body, without apology or comparison. The lines of this dress follow the body's lead, not the other way around. It says, "I'm here with you," not fighting your midsection, not tugging at your shoulders, not clinging where you've softened. It allows space, not just for breath, but for presence. Because after 50, style isn't about control. It's about comfort with intention. It's about choosing pieces that honor the life you've lived and the softness you've earned. You've worn the fitted silhouettes, the hold-it-all-in pieces, the trying too hard blouses. But this is different. This is the moment you remember that you don't need to be smaller to feel lovely. You don't need to hide to feel feminine. And you don't need to wear loud colors to be noticed. You simply need a dress that lets you float, gently, proudly, and freely. 2. the A-line skirt and belted shirt. There's a quiet confidence in knowing your shape and dressing in a way that respects it, not resists it. For many women, especially after 50, the word shape carries complicated feelings. It's been associated with control, with measuring, with judgment. But what if we reclaimed that word, not as something to fix, but as something to frame? The beauty of an A-line skirt lies in its gentle architecture. It doesn't demand symmetry or perfection. It simply begins at the waist and moves outward, offering movement and elegance without pressure. It flatters without forcing. And in summer, it becomes a trusted companion, breezy, balanced, and beautifully feminine. Now, when you pair that A-line skirt with a soft belted shirt, something subtle, but powerful, happens. The belt doesn't have to cinch tightly or call attention to your waist. Instead, it suggests shape. It gives the eye a sense of structure while still allowing freedom. It says, "This is where I begin," not in a loud or rigid way, but in a soft-spoken nod to presence. There's also something symbolic about tying a belt around your waist, not to constrain, but to center. It reminds you that your body is allowed to be seen, exactly as it is. That softness is not a flaw, it's a story, a life lived, a body that has stretched to hold children, carried burdens, survived loss, and still stands. And the shirt, lightweight, relaxed, feminine, becomes your balance. It brings ease to the look. Together, the skirt and the shirt don't fight each other. They create flow. They speak in harmony, not in tension. This outfit isn't about sculpting. It's about honoring. It offers shape, but on your terms. It creates elegance, without discomfort. It whispers the truth that you don't need to shrink or smooth to be stunning. Because real style isn't about erasing your body. It's about dressing it with tenderness and trust. And sometimes all it takes is a soft belt, a swaying skirt, and a quiet reminder. You are allowed to feel put together without feeling restricted. 3. The white tunic and beige capri. Sometimes, the most powerful statement is made in quiet tones. A crisp white tunic, a pair of beige capri pants. No glitter, no loud patterns, just clarity. This outfit speaks the language of ease, of elegance that doesn't need to be explained. It's the kind of look you wear when you no longer feel the need to chase approval, because you've already made peace with your presence. The white tunic is one of those rare pieces that feels like a breath. It skims the body, not to cover or conceal, but to coexist. It gives you room to move, to live, to stretch, and to exhale. It floats without overwhelming. And in the heat of summer, it becomes your sanctuary, letting the air touch your skin again, reminding you that you're still alive in your body, not just existing in it. Then come the beige capris. They're soft in color, refined in tone, but strong in message. I'm comfortable. I'm grounded. I belong. Not only do they offer coverage without heaviness, they align beautifully with the tunic's flow, creating a column of quiet sophistication. This pairing isn't fussy. It's not complicated. And that's the point. Because the further you move into your 50s, 60s, and beyond, the less you want clothing that feels like a chore. You want pieces that make you feel clean, calm, put together, without the exhausting work of tugging, layering, checking, adjusting. You've earned the right to dress in a way that breathes with you. This look reminds you that you don't have to try hard to be noticed. You don't have to dress up to prove you're still stylish. You already are, in the way you carry yourself, in the softness of your gaze, in the deliberate grace of how you move through a room. Ease is no longer a luxury. It's a standard. It's what your wardrobe should offer you, not just on vacation, not just on Sundays, but every day you decide to show up for yourself. So if you've been craving a style that feels like space, like light, like air, this outfit is your answer. Simple, sophisticated, and above all, freeing. 4. The sleeveless wrap dress. There's a moment, often quiet and unexpected, when a woman realizes she doesn't need permission to feel beautiful again. Not approval, not compliments, just permission from herself. And there's no outfit that mirrors that moment better than a sleeveless wrap dress. This dress doesn't sculpt. It shapes. It doesn't push or pull. It gathers and flows. It follows your curves the way a river traces its own history, gracefully, honestly, and without apology. And the sleeveless design? It can feel bold, especially for those of us who've been taught to cover, to hide, to be modest once our bodies began to change. But here's the truth. Confidence doesn't come after you feel ready. It blooms the moment you decide to show up, just as you are. There is so much freedom in letting your arms feel the sun, in walking without adjusting your straps or doubting your silhouette, in knowing that your softness, your strength, your lines, all tell a story that doesn't need to be rewritten. The wrap detail at the waist is not there to squeeze you into anything. It's there to celebrate your shape, to create movement, balance, and that subtle elegance that makes people pause, not because you're trying to be noticed, but because you look entirely at ease in your skin. Floral prints, soft solids, pastels, or deeper tones. What matters most is how you feel in it. This isn't about looking younger. It's about feeling present, feeling alive, and knowing that your beauty has not faded. It's simply taken on a quieter, richer form. So when you wear a dress like this, it's not about making a statement. It's about coming home to yourself, to the woman who has weathered, softened, expanded, and still stands, radiant. Confidence isn't loud. It's not loud makeup or tight clothing or dramatic entrances. It's a soft smile, an open neckline, a dress that moves when you walk and reminds you, you still bloom. Style, at this stage in life, is no longer about standing out. It's about showing up for yourself, not to chase trends, not to chase youth, but to reconnect with the part of you that still smiles when soft fabric brushes against your skin, when you catch a glimpse of yourself and see someone who feels aligned, at ease, and quietly radiant. These looks weren't about clothes. They were about reminders that your presence is enough, that lightness is still available, that beauty didn't leave. It simply softened, deepened, and began to speak in a different voice. You don't need to ask if you're too old to wear something. You're not. You're seasoned, self-aware, and stunning. And if today's outfits made you feel just a little more connected to yourself, if they helped you exhale, even just a little, then that's all the permission you needed. Style isn't about proving you still have it. It's about remembering you never lost it. So tell me, which look felt most like you? Let's start a conversation in the comments. I'd truly love to hear what spoke to your spirit today. And if you haven't yet, feel free to like this video and subscribe for more moments like these. Soft, beautiful, and yours. You haven't faded. You're simply blooming, quietly.